crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and sorry for being a couple of minutes late. Seemed like technology was not being my friend today, but that happens. So be it. We are here, we are live, and we are going to have some fun today. It has been a crazy weekend. I think we've got a lot going on, a lot happening, and but at the same time, it just seems like, wow, I can't get all my act together, but we will. So, not a problem. So, thanks for tuning in. New subscribers. We've picked up quite a few new subscribers in the last few weeks. Thank you and welcome to those new to the channel. Like I say, it gets different, gets better, but it is what it is. It is how we do things and how we will keep things rolling along. So chat was already going crazy before I got on. So let's see. Judy was first in the house today. Welcome in, Judy. Thanks for being here so much this afternoon. She says thank you for the charm pack and her goodies. She received them and is working on what she can make. That is awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I appreciate you being part of the holiday quilting bee. And it's hard to believe, guys. We're like already hitting the middle of July. And so I've got in the next couple of weeks to decide what project we're going to work on for September. But I'm telling you, for Labor Day, I hate to tell y'all, but I think I'm doing Halloween because I love Halloween anyways. And I know not everyone does, but you can always do something different. But I think it would be something different, something cool that we haven't done yet. Hey, Jackie, thanks for being in this afternoon. There's Alex, my buddy. I really feel bad. Alex has emailed me. We've emailed back and forth a few times. I have yet to really just sit down, give her a call, or at least even give her a text. So maybe this week we can make that happen. So we will see. I'm not making any promises though. Inez is in. Welcome, Balloonas from Tucson. Thank you for being here. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Brian. Russ is here. Look at Russ. He says, hi, John. Hi, chat. And happy Sunday. Yeah, it's always a happy Sunday up until about 4 o'clock. And then I start this. And then I realize after this, oh, Sunday starts winding down for us. And then that means I go back to work on Monday. And I'll be honest, I like my job. I work for an amazing company. I have great benefits. But guys, I mean, why can't we work like 2 days a week and be off the 5? Why could we not reverse that somehow? But I appreciate the opportunities the job provides me, such as shelter, food, clothing, not so much as important as fabric. So I get a lot of toys by being able to continue to work. So I do appreciate that. Mama Jan's here. Welcome to Icecraft 2, Mama Jan. Mama Jan was over with us today. She had lunch with us today, and we worked Mama Jan today because we got Friday. I got 11 new bolts of fabric in. I'd already gotten the first shipment of about 11 bolts. I've got about 22, 26 new bolts of fabric. So Mama Jan helped me build out some 3-yard quilt kits. Because I do want to use some of those at the retreats, but I also want to get some of those back on the Etsy shop. So that much is done. We matched fabric, cut fabric, put the kits kind of together. Now I've got to go back and take pictures and do all that. So it seems like it's still a complex process. It's not quick and easy to put all this together. So hopefully I'll get that done in the next week or so. We do have a lot of new things out on the Etsy store if you're interested. If not, that works too. We do what we do. You do what you need to do. And we all live cohesively together. Who else? Uh-oh. Oh, Jen's in. Hey, good afternoon, Jen. Thanks for being here with everyone. Susan's here. Hey, welcome in, Susan. Russ goes, crazy weekend? Because boring weekends suck. They absolutely do. And I would just occasionally maybe like to have a boring weekend. I have no idea what that would look like or what that means. Yesterday, I got up and did some stuff on Etsy. I did some stuff for the quilting retreats. And then I'm telling you, Friday night and Saturday morning, just packing and getting everything prepped and ready for the class that I took yesterday, which was amazing. I had such a great time. Um, and I'll show you some of the results of that. But it's just like, oh, it's so much work to go for 6 hours somewhere to pack your sewing machine, to get the fabric, to make sure you've got a rotary cutter, like all of that stuff. And I'll be honest, I was out of the habit of doing that because with the quilt club here, most of them ladies, they meet 2, 3, 4 times a week. I'm lucky to meet on Saturdays with them, and I'm not even doing that because yesterday was our AccuQuilt club. I was in Phoenix taking the class, so I missed AccuQuilt again for this month. But those things happen. There's just too much going on. So, but I do want to show you what I did yesterday. Hey, Zaza's here. Welcome in. Jean's here. Miss Moosley, thank you for being with us this afternoon. Else. Mama Jan says spell check. Sorry, it's all good. We don't count spelling on here. Oh my goodness! Look who's here, Sally. Happy Sunday, Miss Sally. Thanks for being on the channel. I can't always appreciate Sally. She's always got some good commentary about what's going on. All right, so let's see. So I did take the One Block Wonder class yesterday. I specifically took the class because the instructor asked me about coming down to see his teaching method, to see how he did things. He's actually going to be the instructor that is going to do the men's retreat for us next May. So if you're interested in participating and being part of the men's retreat, the dates are out on the guyscraft2.com website. But no other specifics, and the registration's not open yet. So still fleshing out the details with him, but he will come in and actually do 2 classes with us. The cool thing is in May, Phoenix weather can be cold, hot, in between, or just perfect. But the Quilting Retreat Center has a huge, gorgeous pool, so we'll be able to have a barbecue at least one day in that there with that timing. Want to do some special things for the quilting men because we don't get an opportunity to really be together just as quilters very often. So that's why we're trying to start that, and at least on an annual or maybe biannual basis for Arizona. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it goes very well this next year. So I've got about 10 months to plan. It's hard to believe I've only got 5 months to the retreat in New Year's Eve. Registrations are still open. They're going slow. I had hoped with some of the advertisements and that we had done, we would pick up a little bit faster pace, but also know that folks procrastinate and don't plan out as far as I do. So that's okay. It will have who we have, and we will make it work. That much I know. Sally says, I keep a travel bag with duplicate cutter sets. Yeah, that makes sense. The problem is I do as well. And I had a lot of that stuff in there, but then I realized, well, he had provided a really nice list of what he wanted. So then I had to go back and double check. And one of the things that he did require as part of this One Block Wonder is flat pins. And so I knew I didn't have flat pins in there, so I had to go find those and get those put together. So um, just some differences in that. But you're right. The smart thing is to have that um, second bag packed aside. But then again, I hadn't looked at it for like 3 or 4 months, and then you get worried. It's like, well, is that in there? Mm. Plus, I'll be honest, I didn't know what machine I wanted to take. I thought about taking Herbert and taking the big monster with me, but then I thought, well, I really haven't sewn enough on that one. I really, really, really like Jake, and then, but I've also got a, oh my gosh, it's the in between QVP Juki machine, but it just doesn't have about the same throat space. Started to take that, but I hadn't sewn on it for a while, and I felt like, well, if I do that, I should have gotten it out, and at least make sure it was. So, anyways, needless to say, I ended up taking this one, which means I had to tear the table apart and do all that. I really would like to have a travel machine. I really need to just take my featherweight and get it serviced and start using that, especially when I just want to bounce around town with straight stitching. As I said, it's great that you got an equipment list. Yeah, I was really surprised. He was very thorough about supplies he wanted, cutters, like all the way down the line, which I think again means he's the right instructor for the retreat and we'll do some of the right things. And I may bring him in for one of the co-ed retreats as well. Super, super nice guy. So what I worked on was the One Block Wonder. I had bought this K-Facet fabric. And so I'll give you an idea if you hadn't seen it on one of the others. It is all seashells in that. It is a pretty loud fabric. Um, but I'll be honest, I did get a cut. I did get a piece. This is still pinned together for me to cut my next rows and that on. But I can't say I was crazy about just about the design. He actually brought in like 10 gorgeous one block wonder quilts that he had worked on. He's probably got more than that. But he had brought a lot of nice samples for the class, which really made it fun, made it great. And then I did get the first row done. And we saw the way he does his hexagons, he does three at a time and then sews them back together as strips. So I did get some done yesterday. And I don't know. I just wasn't overly motivated. It was interesting. It was a very low energy group yesterday. There was only six of us, but they weren't like chatty and overly friendly. I don't know. It was just an interesting vibe. And so I ended up kind of skipping out early once I got the concepts and all that down because I wanted to. I just had so much other stuff I wanted to get done. But I kind of like it, but I don't kind of like it. So it's just one of those that I think I'll probably end up getting it done just because I want to see what it looks like when it's done. I can tell you the One Block Wonder does have a website. And if you take a picture of your fabric and go out to the website and drop it in and tell it the dimensions and all that, it will actually show you what this will look like when it's done. And I will say, when I did that, one of the reasons I chose this fabric is because it did look pretty fantastic. And see, I do like kind of the kaleidoscope look that this is giving. So I can't say that I don't. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see. Um, it's just not going to be the highest priority for me to get done, but maybe once I get it all cut and I have it sitting here, it's something I can piece over time and eventually just get knocked out. All right. Hey, Miss Joydy, thank you for being on this afternoon. It's always fun when Joydy's here. Inez is here. Welcome in, Inez. Who else? Who else? Who else? Mm. Jen says One Block Wonders depend on the fabric. I agree. And I did reach out to him before I bought this one, and he said actually this would be one that he would choose. And like I said, when I put it together on the website, it really did turn out pretty well. So we'll see. It's just going to take time. I think it's also just different. And then having to, let's see, I didn't even finish the last one. And then having to press open the seams and do all that. I just didn't have like the right setup. I think you get so spoiled, right? So, because I'm used to having my little iron here. So when I need to press open the seams, I've got my acorn stuff. I didn't take it yesterday. So they did have acorn to press open your seams with, but they were selling it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying more because I've got two things, literally two things at home that I had bought that are actually wrapped with K-facet fabric. So I didn't even think about having those with me, but they do make such a difference when you're pressing open the seams. And with this, you've got to, because you're going to have so many intersections and so much. Zaza says the big thing about the WBW quilt is the cutting. That can take ages compared to the actual sewing. I agree. And I think that's where I got frustrated yesterday. Everyone else was already sitting down sewing, putting things together. I was still trying to get it cut. I ended up cutting um, just one strip to work on. And I've got the other 5 strips yet to cut. I think part of it is again, right? I like my cutting table. I've got a higher cutting table. I was trying to work on a low cutting table there yesterday, just a different mat, even though I did take my ruler. I don't know. I guess I'm more of a creature of habit than I would like to admit. Alex says maybe it's just the fabric you are using is making you feel like you don't really like it, and it could be. I mean, now that I look at it today, I don't feel as turned off by it as I did yesterday. So I don't know. It's just interesting. I agree with Zaza. Zaza said that should have been on the list, and they had Acorn Press or something on the list, but it's not. It didn't register to me that what they meant was this Acorn pen. And so, because I had bought a couple of them at Stitch in Heaven, and on top of it, have I think I got a gallon refill. So, I mean, I've got enough refill to last me a lifetime. And Ingrid, who was in the class with us, because they ran out, Ingrid actually had brought her big um, um, supply of it, and she actually filled my pens up for me the first time because she was there with Stephanie, and she's a sweetheart, anyways. And so she had filled my pens up initially for me, so I would have that. But I ended up coming home and buying a gallon just so I would have it. But I don't know. Like I said, it's we'll get there, right? All right. Let's see. All right, that one's got that going. Wow. Come on, guys. Sorry, I have not even rethreaded the machine and even thought about being ready to sew tonight. I do want to try to finish. I've got all the blocks done. I've got all the blocks done for the fruitcake that I have been working on. So I'm hoping to at least get 1 or 2 rows of those done tonight. But again, we'll see how that goes. So who's ready for a big week ahead? I can tell you I'm not ready to go back to work yet, but it is what it is. And I'm kind of excited because I get through this week. We're actually going to be home again this weekend. The plan was to this weekend be home, next weekend be back at the park home, and then back home a weekend. But we'll actually be home the next 2 weekends because next weekend is 35th Black Bag Friday. So I do need to go do some things for Black Bag and make up some stuff that happened with them. And then I need to go la 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 la. The next weekend is Christmas in July. And if BBMK is watching the replay, she better be at Christmas in July. I haven't seen her for quite a while. So we've got that coming up. And it's like, okay, well, I really want to go to Christmas in July. I'm not going to miss all the bargain sales and things going on at the store by being 2 hours away. So anyway, so now we'll be here the next 2 weekends and then hopefully find some cool weather. All right. What else am I working on? Oh, so but next Saturday, I'm excited because I have invited some of the sweet, sweet ladies from Quilt Club. So we are having a luncheon next Saturday for some of the ladies. I like to try to mix it up. I like to have some different folks back in. I don't get to see them very often, right? Because there's always so much going on and so much happening. Um, so it will be fun to finally get to be with them and see what they've got going on and happening, and just go from there. So it will be kind of nice and kind of interesting, to say the least. So I want to resort these. So I'm going to do that as I try to talk and keep up with um, chatter. Oh yeah, Russ says he's got a big week ahead because he's taking a class tomorrow, and I am kind of a little bit jelly because he is taking a long arm class tomorrow. And I would love, love, love to take a long arm class. I have yet to do that. Um, and maybe if I did, maybe I'd use my long arm a little bit more often. But I can tell you it's not going to be long that Gracie in there is going to have to earn her money. I've already got three, four quilts sitting there that I need her to work on. And I really need to start knocking some stuff out. So it's just got to happen. I can't. I spent way too much money for her just to sit around and not earn her keep. So it's time that she starts earning her keep. So we will see how that goes. But I was excited that I was able to get the other ones quilted, get those over to my long armor. She helped me out. She was quick to tell me, she goes, I don't know why you just don't sell your long arm and why you just don't start bringing everything to me. And then she told me how much I owed her. And I thought, that's why I haven't sewed my long arm. And that's why I can't bring everything to you. Even if I sewed my long arm, I couldn't afford to bring you the volume that we seem to be knocking out at times. So we'll see. I would like to get some things caught up. I did get stuff laid out here at the house so we can look at what we're doing with quilts and quilt tops. I've got stuff everywhere, and it's like, okay, I really need to figure out what's keeping, what's charity, what goes somewhere else, what maybe ends up on the Etsy store trying to make a little money. But I got all of that laid out, and it's funny. I don't know. I'd love to know what you all think and what you all do because I've got stuff that I want to gift to family. I've got stuff that I want to toss around, and I've got stuff that I will probably donate. But at the end of the day, it's like, wow, this is a lot of stuff. I was really surprised how quick it really starts accumulating and adding up. I was like, I had no idea I had as much stuff as I have. And, guys, I haven't been doing this that long, so I can't imagine what some of you must have stashed away. Like Miss Joy, I bet Miss Joy's got quilt stuff everywhere. I think she likes to pick on me, but I bet you Miss Joy's got a big stash somewhere. So you just never know. So I'd be interested to know, what do you all do with some of your stuff? Where are you putting it? Do you donate it? Do you still gift it to family? And I will say my family doesn't have so much yet that they're saying don't send us anymore, but still. INS says just pick up two quilts from the long armor, so I'll be busy binding. And look, I want to tell you, I thought, you know what? If I don't take this out of the cutting room and at least bring it in this room, this is never getting binded. The binding's hanging over there. I've cut it. I've put it all together. I've ironed it. It's ready to go. I just need to put it on the quilt, and this has stayed in the cutting room. And because of that, I have yet to look at putting it together. So let me see. One, three, four, five, six, seven. Um, so I'm hoping now that it's made its way in here that maybe that will encourage me to um, get the binding done. The sad thing is that's my quilt. That's my Virginia Tech quilt that I was so excited about. I can't wait to have it, to use it. I love I love me some Hokies. I have some really good memories of Virginia Tech, especially because my son and I used to do football games there together. He was at that right age. He was seventh, eighth grade when we moved there. He loved being in a college town. And of course, that's when back in the day, um, Virginia Tech actually had a pretty strong, starting to compete more on a national level. And so it was fun just to be part of that atmosphere. um, I think since then they've kind of struggled, it seems like, for the last few years. But I think, every team does, right? They all have their ups and downs and back and forth. But even though we didn't go there, my family really became big Hokies. The school I went to lost their Division 1 football program. I think they dropped down to Division 2, maybe Division 3. I don't even know. Um, so just not near as exciting to follow and be part of. And obviously, they did not have a um, big big presence. but just kind of crazy. Just so much going on, so much happening. So um, I was like, I want my Virginia Tech quilt. I got to have my Virginia Tech quilt. That's what's, I made it for me because I hadn't made myself a quilt. And I've made them for gifts. I made different ones, for different folks. And it's like, oh, I need to make that one for me. And then I just let it sit there. And I was like, okay, well, this is crazy. You picked one and then you chose to let it kind of sit around. So, anyways, we'll get that one done. What else is going on? Oh, we worked on the laser cutter today. So we got some more things cut out on the laser cutter. There's still tons of stuff that we want to get done and push through the laser cutter, and we will do that in the coming weeks. But it was fun. The hard thing for us is unfortunately, the laser cutter has to be in the garage because I don't really have anywhere else that I can put it that has the ventilation, everything that thing requires. And when it's 120 in Phoenix, it's not even 120. But I can tell you, it feels like 120, guys. Let me see what temperature is. I was only 105 today, but let me tell you, you feel all 105 degrees. It's crazy. So summer has definitely arrived, and summer is well on its way in Phoenix. So we are dealing with that, and because of that, excuse me, we are slowly getting other things done. We did talk about we want to go to the movies. My partner wants to go see How to Train a Dragon. That's not top of my list, but something he wants to do. I want to go see the new Jurassic Park. I really, really wanted to see the last Mission Impossible because I've always been a huge um, Tom Cruise fan. But at the same time, I'm not sitting in a movie theater for 3 hours for anybody. I can tell you that. So we're waiting for that one to come out on Paramount. So we'll see how that goes. But I think that can be exciting. And we will just keep plugging along. All right, I think I have all of these now ready. So I might actually be able to sew tonight. Can you imagine me sewing on a live? And I don't know if you all have been watching it. Danielle has just been tearing it up. I don't know. That girl's got all kinds of stuff going on. I missed part of Rush yesterday. I think I got to see him start, and then I had to get out the door. So that was kind of crazy. It's just been so much. All right, let's go back and check what chat says. Zaza says you're too busy. And I'd like to, but it's been that way my entire life. I've always just been that kind of person. I don't sleep. If I can get 5, 6 hours of sleep, that's great. And then I'll pass out for 20 minutes during the day and like take a quick cat nap. And then let me tell you, I'm ready to go again. It's crazy. Oh, Sally goes, I found a dozen quilt tops that need quilting. Oh my goodness, Sally. Tell you what, and it's funny, I start going through some of the stuff. I went through the basket, right? I did a video about those a few weeks ago, and I was like, I forgot stuff I had in there. And now I've got stuff hanging on the long arm that I want to say takes priority. So we are planning, I'm hoping next week, my partner's going to help me get one done, hopefully Saturday, and maybe another one done on Sunday, because I really would like to start making the long arm earn its money and really just if we can get in that rhythm, I think we'd be surprised um, how how quick we can get some of them done. The problem is he thinks if you quilt them, they're done, and it's like, no, you don't understand. That's just one piece of yet two more steps. I've still got to trim them, square them, and then I've got to do the binding, which is no easy task, right? Because you still have to go back and cut all the strips. Then you've got to miter the strips together. You've got to press it all, and then you get to sit down and start doing the binding itself. So it's just crazy. See, I love Joy. That's why she's my friend. She says I plead the fifth. See, I know who to call out, when to call out people. Ina says my favorite is binding. I hand sew. So it's interesting you say that because I did take the 4 quilt tops over to the, long armor. I did pay her to square the quilts up and all that, and then I did pay her to do the binding. She actually did hand binding, and me, I never even looked at it because, I mean, I just looked at the quilts, right? I didn't really kinda check it out. Mama Jan, being Mama Jan, did check those out for me, and that's fine. That's what we have mamas for, right? But she goes, "You do realize these were" she did hand binding on those, which kinda surprised me because she's got a gamel. I know she sews on a Bernina in that, and she didn't necessarily strike me as a I just we never talked about it, so I guess didn't have a clue, and I forget that folks do. There's a big debate on whether stuff has to be hand binded or whether you can do machine binding. I'm only doing machine binding. I have never attempted to do hand binding, and I have no intention of ever attempting hand binding. I spent way, way, way too much money on these machines not to do machine binding. So I wish Zaza lived closer. I would keep her busy. Brian says, I have a bin of quilt tops and a few other unfinished projects. I tell you what, they just pile up faster. I did all of those windows last year on the tin needle. I think we've got 3 sets of those done. They stitched and look so gorgeous, but now they've all got to be squared. And then I've got to do all the sashing and all that on them, let alone, and then quilt it and do. So more to come. We'll see. It really made me realize that when I was watching Alex on Living and Crafting with MS, and she was had her embroidery machine going in that, and I thought that's sad. I've got 2 embroidery machines sitting there that really should be busy because I don't have to necessarily nurse them as much, but then at the same time, it's as fast as I can stitch them and get them in and out of the machine, then there's still more work to do, right? There's still yet another step. So we'll see. Sally says, I had a friend in Texas that quilted for me, but since I don't live there anymore and a friend here has moved to Oregon. Yeah, it's tough. I tell you what, and long armors are not cheap. I'm not arguing with that at all because I think they earn their money because I will tell you it bothers my back and really puts I feel like I've worked out just loading, especially if I've done 2 and maybe 3 in a day. By the time I take them into the cutting room, get them laid out, cut the backing, cut the batting, uh, iron everything, get everything laid out. It's like it's a chore, and then you've got to load that in the machine. Now, once it's in the machine, it's not that big a deal, right? Because I've got a computerized long arm, so that's the easy part. That's what I keep telling my partner. Like, if I can teach you how to do, you would like that because he likes computers and all that silly stuff. Um, but the hard part is to me, it's the prep before and the post activities. Captain Stitches says, I caught a quick break and found your live, so spending some time with you and chat. Thank you for being here, Captain Stitches. Welcome to the channel, and I hope you like what you see. Um, oh, Alex says she sent me an email. Cool. Thank you. I will take a look at it for you. Thank you. Jean's here, Brian. Sally, the quilt I made for me, I gifted to a dear friend because she liked it. Yeah, I have a feeling it's what, I'm laying out some of the quilts and that, and I'm like, yeah, I might just sell that. I might just sell that. And then I've got friends that go, I'll be very upset if you sell that quilt. And I'm like, okay. But I only had, you only need so many quilts, right? I don't want to say that, but um, I only have so many friends, and most of the friends I have quilt, so I can only do so much with them. So I might as well make a little money and try to pay myself for some of this work. But I know nobody wants to pay me what they're worth either. Zaza says, I don't know how you cope with those daily temperature. It's honestly, I'll be honest, you get so used to it. Like I have not been out of the house today other than to open the door for Amazon because I don't know if you all know, but Amazon had this thing called Prime Days last week. And then Walmart tried to compete with them. So between Walmart and Amazon, it seems like every day I'm getting packages, and we'll just leave it at the plural and not talk about how many. but just crazy. Mama Jan says it was 118 here on Wednesday, a little over it. Just crazy. 80 here, Inez says, and we're definitely not climatized for weather like that. Yeah, I don't know that any of us ever did. It was interesting. We were talking about it in class yesterday, and one of the ladies said she's been here 30 years, and she goes, 20 years ago, it was not like this. That it's just gotten, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But I don't know. Russ says movies. What about Superman? I know Russ just went and saw Superman. I don't mind to see Superman. There's just others that I would want to see in front of it. I liked Superman. I loved Batman as a kid, and I'm one of the few probably. I didn't like the remakes of Batman. Um, Batman to me was never meant to be that dark and all that. Um, so I don't know. Hmm. Captain Stitch just says sleep. I get 2 hours max. I have to have more than that, but I will tell you, it seems like the older I get, the less sleep I need, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Mm, Sally says, Brian, I hate the heat. Ironic, I live in the high desert, but it is home. Now you Zaza says 70s is comfortable. I'm good in the 80s. Yeah, Jen says I cut my binding and assemble them before I quilt. Oh, I never even thought about that. No, I have to say I've never thought about it. I will say I do like using my AccuQuilt cutter. I do like the way that Pam Hiller does it. I've been watching Rose City Originals, and I can't think of his name right now. He's got a really good method that Pam had taught him. So I really do like how I'm putting the mitering and all that together now with the AccuQuilt. I do think it makes it easier. I've got the little AccuQuilt baby, so I can sit right here and do it. But again, it's just getting it done, right? Oh no. Sally says I have carpal tunnel on both hands, so no hand binding. No, but you're lucky that you still quilt. And I think you do a lot of crochet knitting, so you still do a lot of hand work. It's just different. Zaza says, Jane, me too. I never thought I'd love hand sewing as much as I do. And it may be that if I ever get started on it, it may be okay. I just haven't. So maybe I'll try hand binding sometime. You just never know. Never know with me. I'm always willing to try something new. Alex says, I've been a little obsessed with my embroidery machine. We're not even going to talk about it. Juju is having a big sale during the month of July. And so, yes, we bought what 6 digital designs from Juju to do Christmas cards. So we're doing embroidered Christmas cards, and I bought the water paper that they suggested from Amazon because it was on sale during Prime Day. So it just came in. But I'm also planning to run it on my 10 needle. So hopefully none of that has any more than 10 colors. So once I get it loaded, it should stitch. But I really do want to send out custom embroidered Christmas cards. Interesting enough, I've only probably got 5 people to send Christmas cards to since I have no family. And my list is kind of limited. And now, what stamps are 70 cents or whatever they are? It'll be a lot more limited. I tell you what, I'm just not spending that on the postal service. Captain Stitch says Nerving causes my left hand to go numb, and I still hand stitch, but I love it too much. I just can't imagine. Ines says $375 for a queen in single, including batting. Wow, that is probably so. That makes me feel better because that's probably triple what I paid my long armor. And she did the binding, and she included the batting. And actually, she charges double for the batting compared to what she charges for the quilting. And I was just lazy, and I didn't want to have to fool. By the time I pulled the backing and put everything together, I just didn't want to fool with the batting. And I have 3 rolls of batting, And after I saw the bill and realized, wow, it would have been literally about half or a little less than half if I had done taken her the batting. So if I do take her anything else, I will absolutely take her the batting to go with it. Russ says Batman is only good when the Zap and pals show up. I agree. Yeah, I don't know. We have retro TV or something, and they had Batman on the other day, and Adam West, and he's still Batman to me. And some of the craziness that they started, just I don't know, just kind of took it away from me. Brian says does make Batman more fun to watch. I agree. I wouldn't disagree with that. Um, oh, Captain Stitch just says I'm working on a slow stitching project as I watch tonight. How cool is that? Zaza says hand binding's easier than fighting with a quilt in my sewing machine. I get that. I have got such a large table and all that here to do it, and yet I feel like I still have to twist around to make everything work. Bye, Sally. Have a great week. Miss you. Um, so we'll see. Brian says he's made embroidered cards. They are so pretty. I'm anxious. I mean, Juju's got some really cool designs in that. I think it will be so different for the few folks that I'll be able to send them to. I know no one else is going to send them one, so I think it'll be kind of fun. Alex says, I don't have a bunch of money, but the sale is great. That's why I'm always mentioning it on my lives. Yeah, I like Juju, and there's one other, and I can't think of their name now. There's two that I buy from. OESD, I don't mind, but they're not my favorite. I don't like, I dislike them, so don't take that as wrong. I think OESD has some great things, and I've got several of their big window panels and all that that I want to do. And I've got their stitch kits that I was going to do for Christmas, I was going to do for Halloween, and I've got one for Hummingbird that I complained all year that we were going to get on there, but we've yet to do that. So we'll see. Oh my gosh, Zaza says stamps are $1.50 where she's at. That is absolutely ridiculous. Yes. I think I could walk it to someone cheaper than that. That's just crazy. Wow, Mama Jan says they're 70 stamps are 70 cents, but after today they go to 78 cents. That's just crazy. Just oh, sweet pea is the other one. Thank you, Mama Jan. Yes, I have a lot of sweet pea designs. I really do like sweet pea. I put the Christmas cards too, so I can make them this year. See, Alex and I are going to be embroidering together. We're going to get together soon, and when we get together, we will probably be doing embroidery. So we'll see. I have to figure out because my setup is here, so embroidery's all over there. So I don't know how that'll necessarily work, but we can make anything work, right? All right. See if Jay wants to be in a cooperative mood. Yes, look at that. He's threaded and ready to work. So maybe we can knock out a few things this afternoon. I have to rearrange. It's been so crazy. I cannot, I hate a dirty house. I have to have a clean house. I have to have clean floors. There's just certain things I have to have. Yet, I don't like mopping and doing all that, but I um, canceled my housekeeper for the summer. It just seems like it was getting too expensive. It just was one more expense, and um, I just felt like I needed that was a luxury that I could do without at the moment, and so postponed her for at least the summer. And but then my floors are dirty, and I don't like doing floors, so I ended up buying the Tinico and using it. And so the Tinico does has a roller brush in that. It mops, kind of sweeps, and all that in one big upright unit. It's actually self propelled, and that's really nice. I bought it a year ago during Amazon Prime days. and I like it, but yet it's just still requires me to take time, get it out, do it. It's like more to work on. And so instead, I bought a what did I buy? I bought a Echo Vac. I couldn't think of the name of it, so I now have a robotic vacuum cleaner that mops and vacuums. And I'll be honest, it does an amazing job. I was really surprised how good the floors look. But the only thing you have to do is really kind of prep your house for her. So we call her Rosie, because Rosie from the Jetsons. And but she really does do a nice job. She really does get the floors so nice and clean. The issue is you got to make sure you have things prepped and ready for her, because um, she gets tangled up in the cords in that. So because of that, I've got cords laying all over the place. So we really need to get zip ties and kind of zip tie things and put it back together. But it is nice having clean floors again, and I can run her a couple of days a week, and she doesn't complain, and she just does a good job, and she does as she's told. So we will probably keep that happening for a while. All right, let's see if we're making this happen. Not sure. I am mixing these up in all kinds of directions because that's just what I want to do. I knew that thread came loose. I could just see it, and yet I kept stitching. That's what I think, in a way, I like about the Juki, right? Because the Juki just keeps on stitching. The problem is you get done and you realize, oh, that had no thread, but it just keeps on going. So I can't ever play bobbin chicken like Russ does, and Russ seems to win bobbin chicken more than he loses. But listen, I'm just glad I figured out how to use the automatic needle threader on this. And Jake actually got a new needle yesterday. He got some oil yesterday. He got almost like a little spa day being down there. What he didn't do, poor little thing, didn't get vacuumed out in that. So I do need to take the plate off and get down in there and clean. What I don't like about this Juki, the 18 QVP, and it's really all of these single needles, is you got to get a screwdriver out to take the plate off. And like, so that's where everything is. It's down in there. All right, so now that that's done that twice, I realize that I am probably out of bobbin because I sewed. No, actually, I have plenty of bobbin. So I thought maybe I was out since I did sew a long time yesterday, and but I was only doing that little piecing. It didn't seem like it was that much sewing. Um, but we'll see. Let me see if I can get thread undone. Get it going again. I wonder. Sometimes he likes to be a little spasnickety. I know he wasn't. You would have thought, as nice as I treated him yesterday, he would have been happy. He was the only Juki in the class. Interesting enough, the instructor has the exact same Juki, Platinum Edition and everything, and uses and loves his as well. So I think once you find, I think Juki guys are just as bad as Bernina folks. So, all those Bernina people, they drank the Kool-Aid. And I mean, once Bernina, always Bernina. I think Juki, to be honest, is just as bad. I think uh, it's funny when you start talking to a Juki person, it's like, nope, they don't like anything but a Juki. All right. And I think we're going to give him a little oil because I did not get to oil him yesterday because I did forget to take oil in my bag. All right, let's see what's going on. See, I moved my mouse way over there, so now I can't even scroll the chat. Alex says my husband asked if I quit quilting because I've been doing so much embroidery. Mama Jan says embroidering a hoop bib for a new baby coming in December with a cute monkey on it. Mom and Dad love monkeys even when they were kids. Oh, that's adorable. Mama Jan does a lot of in the hoop embroidery stuff. Zaza says, my big thing this week has been 3D printing. That machine has been running 24/7. You go. We have not used our 3D printers this year. So I would love to see, I say ours, but they're really not mine, but I would love to see some 3D stuff. He has not done that. I've got him working on the new laser um, cutter that we bought. So he's been focused on that. And I think he would probably, to be honest, would probably prefer to do the 3D printer, but he doesn't complain. He's a good guy. Because I have lots of projects for him, and I just keep lining them up, and he just gives me a really cute little grin, like, mm-hmm. So I keep thinking that means I'm getting on the list. I'm not complaining today because today I am getting homemade barbecue ribs. They smell amazing. They're out on the Traeger. He cooks on Fundays, and he has had ribs going since like 11 o'clock this morning. So they will be big, tender, and I am very anxious for that. So maybe that's something we'll plan for the men's retreat in May. We could do ribs. Wouldn't that be cool? Going that way, that way. So we'll come back this way. You would think there's more variety, but you can only twist and turn these a couple of different directions, and we'll see. All right, let's see how many we got across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So look how nice this is turning out, guys. And I know I've got some duplicates going the same direction in that. I don't care. I really kind of wanted I really wanted this to kind of be just a big mix of things. Oh, Alex is going live tonight at 8:30. Alex, you can try to put exclamation point selfie. I'm not sure if Nightbot will let you do that, but if it does, please definitely put your channel in there so folks can join you. We will try to join, but Sunday nights is usually us trying to get packed and get ready for the week ahead because, as you can imagine, we both have lots and lots to do to get ready for work. But that would be awesome. And it says, with all the things you bought to do floors, it's probably cheaper to keep your person. Amen. I tell you what. But the nice thing is, this one can do the floors every day, and she doesn't complain. She doesn't drag stuff in. I will tell you what drove me nuts with my housekeeper is the fact that they don't change the water. We've had several housekeepers since I've lived in Phoenix, and every one of them I asked, so did you change the water before you did the bedrooms? Oh, no, no, water good. No, water not good because I know how dirty the floors were, and I know you should have started each room with some clean water and rinsed it out. But for some reason, they act like that's a foreign concept. And I don't know, I just never understood why they think mopping the floor with dirty mop water is appropriate. But, anyways, I don't have that problem now. All right, guys, look, I actually have one entire row done. How cool is this going to be? Wow. This is going to be really long. I had no idea. Wow. So we'll see how that turns out. All right, what else? Oh, Brian's getting him a 3D printer. Look at you. Bamboo P1S. It's great. We'll set up. I think that's the one printer we have or we've been looking at getting going. Mama Jane says my partner made us a very nice lunch, and he did. He is a good guy. Brian says, I will say, or Zaza says, get the AMS for it. It does make life much easier. I don't know what we have because I don't do that kind of stuff. So I have sewing machines, so I don't have to look at that kind of stuff. So I'd have to go find out what we have and how we do it. So you just never know. Okay, we got the same. I sorted these blocks like 6 times to make sure that there wasn't any right together. And yet, I guess it doesn't matter because I am not putting this on a design wall. I just kind of want this one knocked out. This will probably end up being a charity quilt at the end of the day. And, we shall see. Yeah, because it is turning out cute. Brian says, I like those fabrics. Thank you. Yeah, of course, I like the mid-century blues, and I really like some of the new colors that they're coming out for Christmas and that. I don't know who I was watching the other day because when I work from home, I typically keep YouTube or something playing in the background, although I can't always hear it because of conference calls and that and things I've got going on. But I do like the noise kind of because then I don't feel so alone. Um, and somebody was showing some of the new Christmas fabrics with all the pinks and that. And it was like, I would have never thought I'd like those for Christmas, but there's a lot to say that I like about those. So, but, you just don't know. So we'll see. I got one of the new fabrics I just got in's got a mid-century Santa Claus. I got the old Santa Claus, and with what they called a Caribbean blue background. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. Because the problem is when you're buying bolts and buying, from these wholesalers and that, you really rely on now what it looks like on the computer. And they don't send catalogs anymore. They don't do, everything's online, and it's like, well, that doesn't always work for me because you don't get a good true color. And but yet this was, I mean, like this couldn't have been more dead on. And I was like, hey, I think I really like that. So we may have to figure out something to do with that. And then I found some Cloud 9 fabrics today with Mama Jan, and she was having a fit over them. And then turns out they were all half yard cuts. But I, this afternoon, actually found exactly the pattern I want to do with those because I actually honestly thought they were Tula because they were so vibrant in that. But they're not. They are from Cloud 9. I'm not sure which collection, what designer, but they are half yard cuts. But I found the perfect pattern from Villa Rosa with half square triangles that I am probably going to use and do those with. And so I ordered those today and actually ordered extras so we can give out some patterns and things every couple of weeks on the live. I just have fun. And Villa Rosa patterns are easy to kind of gift and give away. They don't break my bank, and it's fun that we have something to share. And I do enjoy having some giveaways. So we don't always have to wait till the next holiday quilting bee. So if you like the mid-century, how adorable, I hope he shows up, is that teddy bear um, in this one. So there is yet another strip done. Man, this quilt's going to be much bigger, I think, than I realized. Oh, look, and see, I got all that green there together, and that's okay. I don't care. There's strip 2, strip 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is going to be a big quilt, guys, but it is what it is. We will make it work. We always do, right? So, guys, I so appreciate that you all drop in. I love being able to spend an hour or so with you all on Sunday afternoon. I am trying to figure out how to get on once or twice during the week. I really would like to do something a little bit more regular during the week, but we'll see. Maybe things will slow down in the next few weeks for me, but Lord only knows. But thanks for being here. Thanks for welcome to all the new subscribers that have been on. I so appreciate watching that count rise and grow. Please hit that thumbs up, the bell, and notify you each and every time. Tell your friends, neighbors, and anyone that'll listen about the channel. And as always, until next time, happy crafting.